Welcome to the Funky Latina podcast, where community, culture, and music collide. I'm your host, Elisa, the Funky Latina. We'll discuss what I'm listening to, events you can't miss, and your new favorite Latin indie artists. Press play and let's get into it. What's up, everybody? I'm Elisa, the Funky Latina, and welcome to the Funky Latina podcast. I'm back and I'm excited with a very special interview. Today, I'll be interviewing Niko Rubio, who's headlining the Funky Latina Music Festival on Saturday, March 29th at Walter Studios. So we're skipping the Funky Latina report and we're getting right into the tea. So I'm super excited to introduce you to your new favorite Latin indie artist. Get ready for my interview with Niko Rubio. Press play and let's get into it. What's up, everybody? I'm Elisa, the Funky Latina, and welcome to the Funky Latina podcast. We have a very special interview tonight. I'm so excited for the Funky Latina Festival headliner to join us. Give it up for Niko Rubio. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So I've been a fan probably since like 2020, 2021. But for anybody who's new to you and your music, could you just like kind of introduce yourself and describe your music for us?
Okay, well, hi, my name's Niko Rubio for everyone that's on. My music is, I feel like it's ever changing and it's ever evolving. I feel like when I first started, I'm a songwriter first and foremost. So like I write a lot of songs for other people and I've done other albums. So like I've written so many I write so many types of music and so much different types of music that it took me a while to really figure out what felt like me truly. So I've gone through so many eras in like the past few years. It started as like being very alternative rock, and then it went into kind of like classically LA indie, and now it's like I felt like a part of me was missing. I was writing a lot of stuff like in Spanglish and whatever, but after I opened for Omar Apollo and I was opening for the Marias and stuff, I was like, I really need to make my album in Spanish. And my grandfather, was in Mexico and he's getting a little bit older, and I was like, it's always been his dream for me to make an album in Spanish, and he was like, ¿Cuándo me lo vas a hacer, mija? ¿Cuándo me lo vas a hacer? And finally I was like, okay, I think now's the time, and I went to Mexico and I started up on the Spanish album. So now I would consider it like very California indie, nostalgic, but new Latin alternative. That's how I would describe it.
Definitely.
Very California.
Yeah. Super California. I think too,
Yeah.
like, it's really cool for those that have been listening to you for a while. Like, I know for myself, I've seen the evolution of the sound. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember this, but like, I think it was like 2021, you posted on your Instagram story, like, who wants to hear like my music before it was released? And you like sent out a link to your single Amor
Yeah.
to fans on Instagram. And so like that was when I first like really got into your music, and that's definitely like, even though it's in Spanish, I still think it's very California sound.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't believe you remember that. That's so insane. Yeah, that was the first song I ever wrote in Spanish, and I'm sure there's like so many like things that I conjugated wrong. Who knows? But like I really like
Same.
started. I was always exploring things from the beginning, and it's always
Hmm.
been this, but like the true soul of it has always been the same. But I've just kind of ever changed it and molded it and perfected it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like as I've grown and as I've continued trying it, you just learn more about yourself. You learn more about what you like and where you made mistakes and how you can better tell your story.
Yeah, absolutely. And I
Yeah.
think that's beautiful. Writing in English and in Spanish is you're able to relate to so many more people. I'm not fluent in Spanish. When people are like, "Do you speak Spanish?" I'm like, "I speak Selena and I speak reggaeton." But when it comes to music, like it's so different. You really feel what the music is saying. You're getting the message, and whether or not you can translate verbs correctly or not, like
Yeah.
you feel what the song wants you to feel.
Yeah, for
So I'd
sure.
love to talk a little bit more about, like, you touched on it a little bit, but how does your cultural background influence you in your music, being Latina, also being a California girl. I think, I
Yeah.
mean, I know I can hear it, but would you like to just touch on that a little bit?
Yeah, I think that my background, I mean, it's so important. Like, I was raised by my grandparents, really. My mom was a single mom. My mom had me at 19. And so I was really raised by a village, like her and my grandparents and everyone, like
Yeah.
everyone had a piece in me. So whether I was spending the weekend with grandma and grandpa and just like my grandpa being like, vamos a ir unos corridos, unas, yo nada más escucho banda,
Yeah.
whether it was Jose Jose or Vicente Fernandez or whoever it was, he was, big horse guy. He's still with us, but he's in Mexico.
Hmm.
And it was just this side of my culture that I saw with my grandparents, that was
Yeah.
very muy Mexicano. It was like so Mexican. And it was very like, we're norteños, we're from Chihuahua. So it was very, traditional. And I kind of like came in like with the music stuff and kind of like fucked it all up. And I'm like, and I want to wear short, tiny skirts and my,
Yes.
and my whatever. My grandpa's like, I'm like, this is how I do it, like this is how I see it and whatever. And
Yeah.
he's so supportive of it. And like, but it's for them, it's for my grandparents. And I they're the ones that they heard me sing and they were like, sabes cómo cantar, mija, y hazlo por favor. And they were so lucky to be raised by grandparents that were like, venimos a los Estados Unidos para que, like so that you
Yeah.
could live your dream and not anything else. Like that's what this is about. So I had these first projects are really like, this next one especially is like such an ode to them and
That's amazing.
to the love that they've given me and the support. And then a lot of my mom, my mom was a big Shakira girl, Selena girl. Like she's a dancer
Oh, nice.
growing up. So like for her it was always like, I was like, yeah, I can sing, but she was like, but what about performing? And I was
Yes,
like, I'm
that's the
not much of a
talent.
performer. I like to like sit in my room and write my songs. Like I'm such a writer. And she's like, but the performance. So like everyone was very supportive in their own way, whether they were like, learn how to dance or learn how to songwrite. And grandpa was such a lyricist. So he was like, necesitas expresarte con amor y da, da, like learn how to do these things.
Yeah.
And yeah, so culturally, I mean, LA, being born and raised here, all over, because my mom had me really young, so I kind of just grew up everywhere. Whether
Hmm.
we like lived in Lawndale for a long time, and Gardena and Manhattan Beach, and it was like everywhere, wherever we could, wherever we were, whoever she was with. Like it didn't. I was always moving. So
Yeah.
LA and the beach is really my place. Like that's my home, because it was, no matter where we were, I was either a bus ride or a short drive away to the ocean. So
I
that's really
love
where
that.
everything is for me.
No, I love that you're able to infuse like all sides of your culture, both sides of the border. And even like this sounds like so cheesy, but like even like, the border we share with the land and the sea and the ocean, like it really
Yeah.
is full circle. And I think if people take a journey down your discography, like it's almost like taking a trip from the Pacific coastline all the way down to like Mexico City. Like that's
My
kind of
God,
what your music I think is like.
that means so much to me.
But I do want
That's
to go
exactly
back
what it
to the
is.
mini skirts because those
Yeah.
are important. Um, in addition to just being, a talented artist, I've seen like your style is amazing and you intentionally collaborate with, like up and coming artists and as well as like Latinas are on set
Mm.
from
Yeah.
beginning to end.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
saw the post you did recently in like you're kind of wearing like a bridal outfit and it's giving
Mhm.
Julieta Venegas. Like I was like, oh
Oh
my
my
God.
God. Yeah, I did that with Guincho, this incredible photographer. Also Salvadorian Mexican, igual que
Hmm.
yo. Like we're both, my dad is Salvadorian, my mom's Mexican. But my
Hmm.
grandparents on my mom's side really like, I was where I really lived, so I feel very influenced by the Mexican side, but I also really love and support my other grandma, and I learned so much about my other, that culture and my Salvadorian culture. Um but I really think it's important, especially in LA. There's so many amazing Mexican creatives, artists,
Yes.
brands, young people to work with. And there's always the times where it's like, sometimes it doesn't work out and you need to work with your friends. And like,
Hmm.
sometimes you can't have everyone on your team be Latino, but when you can figure it out and when you can be like, okay, we're going to shoot this, we have this idea, it's this Julieta Venegas cover, we want to redo it. I had posted basically the photo, I had posted Algo está cambiando, or one of the Julieta songs, I forget.
Hmm. Lento
What
maybe
was
or
it? I think it was
Smooth.
Lento, and I posted on my
Yeah.
story just because it's like one of my favorite songs ever. And he responded, that photographer responded, and he was like, "Oh my God, I've literally like I'm obsessed with this." So like this was like one of my favorite songs growing up, and we were like, "What if we redid this cover?" And we were like, "That'd be sick." And so randomly, we tried for like 2 years. We like wanted
Yeah.
to do that for like 2 years, and then finally one weekend, he was like, "I've been so busy. I'm so sorry." I was like, "I've been so busy." And then my stylist, who's like my best friend ever, she's incredible, and she we had this idea. We were like, it's a wedding dress, but do we really want to do a wedding dress? And we were like, no, let's be like a little bit more art ho weird. Like let's do a
Yes.
bodysuit with and I had worn that skirt in the cover of the which song cover was it? I wore that skirt in another cover for another song, and it was just hanging in my closet. I was like, this is perfect. Let's grab some. Let's just. I ran. We were in downtown, and I ran to a quinceañera shop, and I got the
Oh,
tiara
nice.
on the
Yes.
way there. We were just in downtown, and I was like running over, and I like told my best friend. I was with my friend David, and I was like, stop the car, and he was like, you're just gonna run in. I'm like wearing the whole outfit, like my whole bridal
Oh
outfit.
my God, I love
And
that.
I ran into the quinceañera shop, and they were like, "Are you getting married?" And I was like, "I'm getting married."
Yeah. You're like, I'm married to the music,
I was
okay?
like, "Estoy casada." Ah, ya me casé. No. Um, but yeah, it was really fun, and we just literally we took maybe 10 photos. We were there for 30 minutes, and he was like, "I got it," and I was like, "You're
Dang.
sick. I'm obsessed with you," and that was it. And we just killed it. I mean, they killed it. And his girlfriend
That's
Monica was there
amazing.
too, and she's incredible. Everyone was amazing. Abe was really good. Shout out the
That's
whole team.
awesome. Yeah, no, I think it's incredible. I've seen some other work that you've done, and it's just like, like no big deal, just like goes to like uh Spain with Vogue or whatever. Which I'm gonna follow up with you after because I'm actually going to Spain this summer with my parents, and they've never been. So I was like, I sent your video to my mom. I was like, here's do some research.
Yeah, no, I mean, we saw the coolest places. That was one of the most amazing things I've ever done. I was so lucky to be able to go with them, and they just wanted, the tourism in Spain, it was Condé Nast, Traveler Spain, and
Mm-hmm.
Vogue. And they were just like, "Do you want to go on this beautiful trip?" And I was like, absolutely, I want to go on this
Yes.
beautiful trip. Are you joking? And it was, I mean, so hospitable and just kind, and never been never been to Spain. So it was like,
Oh,
this is just such a
amazing.
beautiful thing to do, and I feel really, really, really blessed to have been able to do that for sure.
That's amazing. No, I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, I took some notes. I'm like, I gotta stop. I'm probably just gonna recreate your video while I'm there.
Ah, you
I'll send
should.
you,
It was perfect.
I'll send
It
you a
was a
copy.
perfect trip. Yeah, you got to do
Um,
it.
I have a couple more questions before we wrap up, but I would just love to know, in addition, like, what are you working on now? What can we expect from Niko Rubio coming forward or going forward?
Well, I am downstairs editing the next 4 videos. Everyone's downstairs being very quiet in the editing room, and I just came up and to come talk to you for a second. But we're prepping for the next release. Um, it's another project in Spanish. There's another
Amazing.
four. I made two of them in Mexico City. Actually, two of them are the first songs I wrote in Spanish with this guy Mike and this guy Julian and Lester Mendez and like this incredible team. And I was just like, it was like the next two that are coming out are like the beginning of what became me writing a whole thing in Spanish. So there's
Mhm.
now going to be like 9 or 10 songs in Spanish out of my discography, which is like 20 something. So it just feels really good. It feels really honest. I waited a really long time to put them out because I wrote
Mhm.
a couple of these like 2 years ago, and like three, maybe even no, yeah, 2 years ago. And like it's been a slow and steady release of telling the story correctly. And I waited for one of my best friends to come back home from London because she was studying in London, and we had done a short film together. And
Oh,
then we were
nice.
like, who's going to shoot this? Who's going to shoot this? And I was like, I really feel like it's her and one of my other best friends that I went to school with. And it's just like, my other friend who's this incredible photographer shot it. And it's just like a real labor of love. And
Yeah.
I did all this, we did all the creative direction together and everything. And this next one is definitely the best thing I personally think I've ever done in my life. Like, I am so excited, and I'm like, maybe just because I'm like editing it right now, like, and I'm speak, but no, I'm kidding. I've been so lucky that everything that I've done, I'm really, really, really proud of, and the people that have worked on it have done it with nothing but love and care. So this is just another one of those, but I think that I think people are gonna really, really understand it. It's almost like a full. It's like everything that I've wanted to say
Mm-hmm.
wrapped up in this thing. Might perform a couple of them.
Ah,
Might perform a couple of the new
you
ones.
guys want to hear some unreleased music from Niko Rubio? Y'all better pull up to the Funky Latina Fest.
Yeah, you have to come. You really have to come because it's gonna be really beautiful, and I'm really excited for the show. I'm really
Yeah.
excited. I haven't played in Arizona for a long time. I think the last show I did in Arizona was like Chase Atlantic, which might have been like 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, see them,
Did you
and see
also
them.
open, I think, for Omar Apollo in
I don't
Arizona?
think we did Arizona.
Okay.
Did we?
I don't know. I know you were on the you were so anyways, that show was the same day as my festival when he was here, so I missed it. But I'm excited for you to come perform
I'm
in
so excited.
Phoenix. It's like I think since the last time you've been to Phoenix, I think the music scene has definitely changed. It has
Mhm.
grown. And that's kind of like what the Funky Latina Fest is all about. It's all about bringing together Latinx artists from across all genres and
Yeah.
showing off, literally showing off, showing everyone
Yeah.
what we look like and not letting other people speak for us, instead like showing through our art. So I'm really excited for you to be a part of that.
Me too. I'm so excited, and I feel really lucky that you've asked me, and thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. It's no, this is like a dream come true for me too. I was like, because a lot of times when I'm reaching out to talent, I'm like, they're not even gonna respond. So shout out to your team. You have a great team. And I mean, I've never seen you live before in person. I've seen a lot of your performances on YouTube.
Mm,
And I think you did like a Dia de los in LA.
yeah.
That was like a really beautiful performance. But anything that you're excited about as far as like performing at the Funky Latina Fest? I know you've
Yeah.
performed at other festivals before.
Yeah, I'm excited for what the set's gonna be. I haven't quite decided exactly what I'm gonna do because I want it to be very specific.
Hmm.
But I'm just excited to play a few new songs and a lot of it's been so long, and I definitely haven't performed any of the new stuff in Spanish or any of these past this last EP. So
Hmm.
it's gonna be really fun to do that again, to do that in front of people that haven't seen it, and I know that there's people that are excited about that too. So
Yeah, you have a lot of fans in Phoenix. Like I've
really,
been getting a lot of DMs and messages, and like they're like, "What? Oh my God, we're so excited! Like how? Like are we gonna have meet and greets and this and that?" And I was like, "It's not planned, but we'll see."
oh
Like
my
I'm like, "Just come to the
god,
show."
yeah.
It's a pretty intimate venue. It's you can still fit a lot of people in there, but I guarantee you're not gonna see this a lineup like this anywhere else for $25. Like
Yeah,
it's a
no.
steal.
I mean, it's gonna be so fun, and I want to meet. I want to hang out with everyone. Are you joking? Yeah, I'm
That
so
would be
down.
awesome. Well,
I'm really excited.
before we wrap up, I have one question, two more questions. But one, I want to know. I know you're playing the Funky Latina Fest, incredible stage. But are there any other like dream stages that you want to play or perform at?
I mean, I'm so lucky. I've played Lala, which was such a dream, and Corona Capital, which was such a
Hmm.
dream. But I didn't even get to sing all the haven't been able to sing any of the all these last
Mm.
two projects in Mexico. It's like Mexico City. I want to do like a whole I want to just do like Guadalajara. I want to do Chihuahua. Like I want to do a Mexico tour, and obviously I want to play Coachella. I want to do Primavera. Like
That would be perfect.
there's so many amazing, shows that I have friends that like tell me like their insane stories about, but right now this is the most important one, and I'm just happy to be there and hang out with everyone and come support in Arizona because Arizona is very loving. You guys are very loving.
Good.
Yeah.
That makes me very proud as a Arizona native to hear that. But thank you so much, Nico, for hanging out with us tonight. Like,
Thank you.
we are so excited to have you perform at the Funky Latina Music Festival. For anyone who's new, if they haven't already, how can we follow you? Where can we listen to your music?
I'm at Hola Niko Rubio. That's my Instagram, and just Niko Rubio, Niko, on Spotify and Apple Music and YouTube, all of them.
Oh my God. And before I forget, you have a birthday coming up, right?
Oh my God, yes! Yeah, my
Any,
birthday.
any special
My
plans?
I don't know yet. I'm kind of I'm like the worst when it comes to birthday plans, but I'm
Mhm.
lucky that I have very beautiful friends and they have figured things out for me, but I think it's a surprise.
We might have to get someone to sing Las Mañanitas during the festival for you.
Oh my God. That'd be so cute.
Well, thank you,
It's
Nico, so much for hanging out. I'm counting down the days. I think it's like, I mean, I literally am counting down the days. It's 19. Let's be serious.
oh yeah,
And we
let's
can't
be
wait for
serious.
yeah, like but super excited to have you come and play the Funky Latina Festival and just become a part of the Funky Latina Music Festival history and
Yeah,
see the next stage you play on after that. So thank you so much for your
thank you.
time. Have a beautiful
Thank
night.
you. Thank you, you too.
All
Bye.
right.
Thanks for
Good night.
having me.